Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my Shimpaku Juniper. This will be the second pruning of this tree since it was purchased as nursery stock and given to me as a gift by Eric and Emma. Here is a look at the tree. So it's grown quite well. You can see the long extensions coming out everywhere, which means it's really healthy and vigorous. So they tend to run, clump, run, clump. So I've got a lot of runners on this tree. I'll rotate it around. And then I'll show you a picture of what it looked like after I pruned it up for the first time. So I'll rotate it around. So coming around to the right-hand side, the back of the tree, the left-hand side, and back to the front. So you can see it's grown quite a bit since that last pruning. Today I'm going to pick a front for the tree. I don't think I ever picked a front, or I didn't mark it. And then I'll prune it up. I'm having a look at the tree now, just trying to pick a front. So I've got a nice kind of vertical structure forming here. And then I have a strong kind of branch that goes off to the right hand side and reaches quite vertical. So I definitely want to make it more compact, try and bring these two trunks in balance, probably make this the thicker trunk eventually and this more of a branch. So it'll be, I think, quite a transformation today. As far as the front, it's pretty good in this view here. It shows both the back branch and the trunk clearly. I mean, this isn't a bad front back here too. This part of the upper structure comes forward, which is kind of nice, but then I have this nice strong shoot here coming forward also. So I think I would, if this is the front, I would keep this branch as sort of the leader of the tree, probably making this part more of a branch. That's a possibility. I don't think I want to grow the trunk, you know, the primary thickest trunk slanting off like this. I think I want to grow it as more of an upright tree. I have enough junipers with trunks that slant off like that. I want a slightly different style for this one. So I think I'll mark this as the front, somewhere in here. So I've got a wire and I'll just stick it in the soil. And I think I want this trunk line coming forward and this one in the background a bit. So I think this will be the front right here. So that's the front of the tree. Okay, I'm ready to begin the pruning. So I think I'll start with this kind of thick back branch. I do have like a cascading branch coming off the bottom here, which is quite nice, and a lot of branches in this area. I could cut the whole end off that branch. And I'm thinking that would be a good idea, just to bring the tree in more compact, kind of develop these smaller branches closer to the trunk line, rather than having this branch which has very little taper from the base all the way out to the tip. So I think for the interests of taper, I need to reduce that back quite a bit. So I'll do a cut and I'll make it deadwood like I did on these lower branches here. So I'll get the ratcheting pruners and I'll come in and make my big cut. So I'm going to start up here. So here I go, there's another cascading branch there. So here goes the top, or the tip of that branch off. So that comes off. So already that looks a little better proportion-wise. So on this thick branch now, I have two cascading branches. I have the one at the tip here and one that's kind of pointing straight down. Do I want to reduce it back? It still has, you can see it has no taper. It's just a thick branch or trunk. Do I want to bring it back further? I think so. And I think I will. So I'm going to prune off this cascade branch here. It's a nice branch, but it's just too far out. And then I have another one at the back here. If I want to make this deadwood, I'll have to remove that. This back one. And then there's one kind of pointing straight up here, which I don't want either. So that's coming off also. So now I can make this tip deadwood here. So to make that deadwood, I'm going to cut the tip. Generally you put like a cross-shaped cut in the tip. Like that. And then I'll get the pliers and peel it back. Now I hope this works out. Maybe I'll start by removing some of the bark. I want to keep, these branches back here, so I've got to be careful when I strip this deadwood back that it doesn't take my branches off with it. Okay, it's working. If I want to keep this branch on top here, I've got to be careful not to go back too far. Who needs pliers when you can use your hands? It's getting there. It's got to look like it was ripped off in a storm. Not making it too pointy either, which always looks a little funny. Well, that's looking pretty natural. I'll show you a close-up of it. Here's a look at the tip of that branch. So it's not perfect, but I think that'll do for now. It can always be refined in the future. So next I have like this tall branch, which is very straight coming out here. So I'm looking for some sub-branching. There's some up top here, so I can at least take this tip off. So here I go, taking that off. Still pretty straight looking. Might have to go back further. I think I will. I'll go back to here, making it quite small. So that's looking better. It's kind of equalized the balance between the upright part of the tree and the branch. It's still pretty thick looking, this branch, but this one will grow, and I'll keep this one kind of reduced. So next I need to go in and do a more detailed pruning on this branch. So on this branch you can see there's a lot of foliage hanging straight down, so I'll remove that. It's fine if it kind of flows outwards, but when it grows straight down, it's like branches that poke straight up. They just don't flow and look very natural. This one's kind of coming straight out the front, so I've got some branches back here I can prune this one back to. Taking the tip off. Like that. This one's crossing everything. I can take this one off. It's going straight down also. This one's crossing over. I'll take that one off. And then this tip, I had better reduce it. It's getting kind of long and whippy looking. I will take it back to, I think, here. Quite a cut. Hopefully that branch will survive. This one, it's kind of goes down, starts bending upwards, and then I have a strong shoot sticking up here I'm going to take off. Like that. And then there's also some vertical growth I think I need to remove. Again, growth that's sticking straight up. And then I'll take the tip off. I've got some good branches flowing outwards here. So I'll take this tip off. Like that. And should I take it back further? I have a downward facing branch here and one here. So I could shorten that if I wanted to. Tough call. Shorter is always best, isn't it? I do have a branch out the back and one out the front. I'm going to take the tip off, making it shorter. And I've got some more upright growth I can remove. These ones are okay, they flow quite nicely. And I'll just take off the upwards growth on these little branches, and I'll redirect this branch. I'll take the tip off so it directs it over to the right hand side a bit more. Like that. This one is fine, I think. I'll just take the vertical growth off. Same with this one. Now there's a branch at the base of this one. Don't think I need that one. I won't be using that. This one I'll keep in case I want to shorten the branch back in the future. There is another part of it pointing straight down that I can take off. And this one. This one. This one. That cleans that branch up quite nicely, leaving some options for the future. I'm going to take this one off. It's crossing back. And this one. And here. Keeping it flowing outwards. Yeah. The only other thing I could do is take the tips off these two branches here. So I'll prune it to a downwards facing shoot. This one. So I'll just take the tip off. That's good. Okay, so there's one branch kind of gotten a detailed prune. So I'll go around and do this one out the back here now. So I'll flip it around and we'll have a look at that. So on this branch, again, I'll remove my vertical shoots. And I'll prune the tip to a downwards facing leader. Back to here. this one back to here. And then I have a lot of branches coming off the bottom. I'll prune away the ones really close to the trunk here, leaving these ones in case I want to shorten the branch back in the future. And this branch, I think it's getting a little long and straight. I'll take this tip off here. That helps. These ones I'll just pinch back. They're a little long. Like that. There's one coming straight off the top here I can take away. Then this branch, I've got a good branch in the bottom. This one's not too bad. I don't think I want these ones growing back in towards the tree. So take those out. Keeping the branch kind of flowing out in this direction. And then I've got this tuft coming up here. I've got to decide what to do there. So let's go back to the front. And I've got to decide what I want to do with that. It kind of comes straight up off of there. I think I'm going to clip the top off, redirecting it. Take the one off on the inside here, keeping it kind of flowing out. And I think that's good. Now, on that back branch, I've got a bit sticking out. It doesn't flow very nice. I think I need to prune that back a bit more. More like that. I think that's good. So that has got this side of the tree pruned up. It's quite a severe pruning, but I think it'll look better. I can definitely see shortening this branch in the future, but for now I'm going to leave it. So now I've got to prune up this part of the tree. It's got a little berry that formed on it right in here. It's a little black berry. Kind of cool. Here's a look at the tree now. So I'm going to start on this branch here. Don't think I want it flowing upwards. I mean, it doesn't look too bad going upwards. Yeah, I think I want this as my main trunk line coming forward. So I think I'll take this one off to this downward facing branch. So here I go. Like that. And then I'll just reduce the tip on this one. Back to here. Like that. This branch is good. I'll clear out. There's some branches growing right at the base. There's start of some branches. I think that's good. I'll leave these ones in case I want to prune it back in the future. And I'll just take the tip off this one. Like that. And the tip off this one. Like that. This main trunk line, I don't want it coming too far forward, so I'm going to prune it to an upward facing shoot. So I'll at least go back to here. So here I go, taking the tip off. And then I've got some branches back here that are getting tall. So let me have a look at those. I've kind of got two branches growing from one spot here. A smaller one and this one. This one flows out better and this one's too vertical, so I'll take off this whole branch. And there's a look at the berry that was on it there. So that's looking better in this part. This branch here, if I look from the front, that's my main kind of trunk line, and I think that's okay. I think I've got a branch growing up here kind of parallel to it that I don't think I need. And maybe even the one in here. I'll prune this one back quite hard. I hope it survives. We will see. And then this one, that's coming off of this one, which is good. But I've got a branch behind it. I'll prune the top off it. Flattening it out and pruning it back to a downwards facing growth. Giving this branch light. There's a little dead branch here I can prune out. I think that's getting pretty close. I don't think I'd want to take any more off than that. So there's the front. And I think, you know, it should really grow in over the next year and start to look a little more tree-like. It's pretty sparse back here, but I think that'll do fine. It's in a big nursery pot, so it should have lots of vigor. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Outside today, the wind has died down. So it's very calm and peaceful outside. Yeah, it's nice to get that winter storm out of the way. So it's slightly below freezing. Lots of snow. A typical kind of winter day. Here's a look at the tree, how much foliage is left on it. And here's what I took off today. So I took a lot off. That is, yeah, it's getting down there. I wouldn't want to take any more than that off. So let's have a look at the tree. I'll rotate it around and you can see it from all angles. So here's the tree from the front, coming around the right hand side to the back, to the left hand side, and back to the front. And when I repot this, I'll tilt it forward a bit so the trunk isn't leaning back so much. And I think, you know, as this strengthens up, you'll see it kind of, yeah, flow quite nicely in the future. That has got my little Shimpaku Juniper pruned up for today. I think it's slowly going to look a little more tree-like. I'm quite excited about developing this tree into the future. I'm really liking the junipers. I haven't had too many junipers in my collection, and the reason is that if you leave them outside, it gets too cold for most of them and they get weak and die. And now that I have this glass greenhouse, I find the junipers are growing really well and they're surviving the winter, so I'm kind of excited about the junipers in my collection. So that is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.